How does JavaScript work? JavaScript is a single-threaded programming language. It is also known as client-side scripting language and one of the most efficient and commonly used scripting languages. The client-side scripting language means that it runs at the client side or on the client machine inside the web browsers like Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, etc. JavaScript executes the code from top to bottom. Whenever we run a JavaScript program inside a browser, JavaScript code is received by the browser engine and the engine runs the source code to obtain the output. How does JavaScript code execute in browser? Every web browser comes with a JavaScript engine that provides a JavaScript runtime environment. For example, Google Chrome uses the V8 JavaScript engine developed by Lars Beck. To run JavaScript in the browser, we have two options. Put in a script element whenever in the HTML document or put in it an external JavaScript file with a JS extension, then reference this file in the HTML document using an empty script element with the src attribute. When will you return something from a function? The function will stop executing when the return statement is called. The return statement must be the last statement of a function because the code after the return statement will not be accessible. So the return statement is used to return a specific value from the function to the caller of the function. What is a closure in JavaScript? How does it work? A closure allows us to access the scope of an outer function from an inner function. In other words, a closure is just a fancy name for a function that remembers what outer elements are used inside. What is a recursive function? Recursion is the process that calls itself. Functions that calls themselves are called recursive functions. Recursions work very well when traversing non-linear data structure such as trees, matrices, charts, and DOM nodes. Difference between undefined and null. In JavaScript, defined is a type, whereas null is an object. It means variable is declared but no value has been assigned a value as the default set value in undefined. Whereas null is JavaScript is an assigned value, we can assign it to a variable. What is DOM? DOM stands for Document Object Model. When a web page loads, the browser creates a DOM for the page. The Document Object Model is a programming interface for web documents. Renders the page so that the program can change the structure, style, and the content of the document. The DOM represents a document as nodes and objects. This allows the programming language to interact with the page. A web page is a document that we can view as a browser window or HTML source.